In this video, we are going to review expanded form. When we have numbers, they can be written in standard form or expanded form. What expanded form means is that I'm taking that number that was in standard form and breaking it apart by place value. Let's look at this number. We have 65,421. If I was to put this number in my place value chart, I could see that the 6 is in the 10,000s place, the 5 is in the thousands, the 4 is in the hundreds, the 2 is in the tens, and the 1 is in the ones place. So when I want to break this apart, I know that that 6 isn't really a 6, it's 60,000. So I would write it as 60,000. The place value chart is helpful to see that after my 6 I should have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Then I also have a 5 in the thousands place. So I'm going to write that as 5,000. I have a 4 in the hundreds, that's 400, a 2 in the tens, that's 20, and a 1. What I'm doing with these numbers is I'm stretching out each part of the number by place value, and then I'm going to need to add them together, and if I put them in expanded form correctly, when I add them together, I will get 65,421. We can break this number down even more. If I take a look at the 60,000, I know that means I have a 6 in my 10,000s place. Another way to get that 60,000 would be to write 6 times the place value we're in, which is 10,000. And then I would add that to my next place value, which would be the 5, which is in the thousands. So I have a 5 in the 1,000s place. If I was to check it, 5 times 1,000 would give me my 5,000. I also have a 4 in the hundreds place, so I do 4 times 100. Then I would add that to my 2 in the tens place, which would give me 20. And then my 1 is in my ones place, and 1 times 1 would give me 1. Both of these answers are correct. They're just different ways to write numbers in expanded form. Here, we're showing the value of each number by writing the number out. Here we're recognizing that we know the 6 is in the 10,000s place and breaking it down even more. For this number, 45,608, I'm going to start by writing my number in my place value chart just to keep myself organized. Now I'm going to look at each number. That 4 is in the 10,000s place, so it's the same thing as 40,000. Then I have to add on the next place value, which is a 5 in the thousands, so that's 5,000. Then add on the next place value, the 6 is in the hundreds, that's 600. There's nothing in my tens place, so I don't even have to write a 0. I'm going to skip that, but there's an 8 in my ones place, so I'm going to write my 8 down. Now, just like before, we can break it down even more. I know there's a 4 in my 10,000s place, so 4 times 10,000 would give me that 40,000, plus 5 times 1,000, plus 6 times 100, plus 8 times 1. So be careful, when you have a 0, you can skip over that place value. You don't need to write anything there. If I were to multiply this all out, 4 times 10,000 is 40,000, 5 times 1,000 is 5,000, 6 times 100 is 600, and 8 times 1 is 8. When I add all these together, I'm going to get 45,608. When you're doing this without a place value chart, you just need to pay attention to what your place values are. So I always know it goes ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So my 7 is in my thousands place, which I could write as 7,000, or I could write it as 7 times 1,000, because that's the same thing as 7,000. Then I'm going to add on to that with the next place value. Again, ones, tens, hundreds. My 9 is in my hundreds, so I could write that as 900, or 9 times 100. The place value after that, my ones, then my tens, is going to be that 2 is a 20, or I could write it as 2 times 10 because it's in my tens place, and then I'm done because there's just a 0 in my ones place, so I don't have to write anything. Pause the video and on a piece of scrap paper, try writing 4,326 in expanded form. When you're finished, press play to see the answer. When you broke this number apart, you should have had a 4,000 or a 4 times 1,000 plus a 300 which is 3 times 100, plus a 20, which is 2 times 10, plus a 6, which is 6 times 1. Once again, write down 74,803, our new number, pause the video, try writing it in expanded form. When you broke it down, you should have had the 7 was in the 10,000s place, the 4 was in the thousands place, the 8 was in the hundreds place, and the 3 was in the ones place.